Hello, Akron! How y'all doing? Alright, I love the turnout, love the energy already, keep it coming all night. For those of you who may be here for the first time, I know many of you have been here already, but there are some folks out there it's the first time tonight. We'll have a feature. I'll tell you a little bit about our feature very soon. We'll have a break after that. We have an open mic. I think I've asked everyone in the room, but if I missed you and you're not on the open mic and you want to be or change your mind, get your name on the list. We'll go through an open mic and bring our feature back up. So today's feature, when I tell you that this person is one of my favorite people in the whole world, it is not hyperbole. It's legitimate, it's sincere. I have known Gretchen for I don't know how many years, a number of years now. Had the pleasure to perform on stage with her at least 3 times, maybe more, where we got to mix poetry and song all on her end, because I do not have any of that, so I keep that away so I don't punish people. I bring poetry, Gretchen brings poetry as well as song. I think Akron folks, some of y'all known Gretchen for a long time too, some maybe even longer than me in this room. And you probably know Gretchen more for the singing and the songwriting. You're going to get a little taste of that tonight too, and I'm excited for that. But Gretchen also has really cool poetry that I've gotten to hear in person, read online. And yeah, I want to get Gretchen up to the mic. You ready for that? Yeah! All right, let's give a big welcome to coming back from Ann Arbor, where she now resides, used to be with us in Akron. Give a big welcome for Gretchen Pleuss!
I'm so honored to be here and to be featured. Thanks, Keith. Also one of my favorite humans.
Thank you.
I mean, I love everybody in Akron. Whenever I come home, it feels like home, and I'm just so grateful to be around all of you. I'm going to start with a song just to warm up.
Yeah.
And obviously, so I do like Keith was saying, I write songs, which a lot of people know me for those, but I write poems that don't feel like songs, so I have to keep them separate. Some people can sort of intermix, but I write the two things very differently. So I'm going to start with a song because Nate mentioned it, and Nate rules.
Yeah.
So this is one I wrote called Everybody's Pretty, and I wrote it while I was in New York on a small tour, and I was just noticing how many people were, this was 2016 or 2017, how many people were, one, glued to their phones, even then, and just looked increasingly sad, and it just dawned on me how this sea of beautiful people could also be lonely and sad and disconnected in a way, ironically, and very connected. So, and then I related it back to my own sadness and loneliness, of course. I take the F train from Harlem to Queens, 3 days in the same hat and jeans. Walk in a cafe and order some eggs. Notice a stranger staring at my legs. He says I'm unlike anyone he's known before. I'm equal parts love and war. I'm not a concept or so says Kate. It's parts of me learn to hate. It's parts of me I already hate. Though I hold him, I've already let him go. The one I love is still in Ohio. But freedom is lonely, and so is this city where everybody's lonely, 'cause everybody's pretty. Admires my fingers, he jokes he often falls for folk singers who say something profound and bring people together, but I just wanna bitch about the weather. With a man I met in Montauk and his wife from Germany, I think of the kind of wife that I would be. Always leaving and returning, but never being fully there. Acting cold and unforgiving even when I care. Especially when I care. And if I held him, I just as soon let him go. The one I thought was still in Ohio. Freedom is lonely, and so is the city where everybody's lonely, 'cause everybody's pretty. Nadine's really pretty. When I get to the station, I'll be reflecting on my week. Wonder what it is I seek. I'm not sure if it's God, I'm not sure if it's money, or reciprocation from a man who doesn't want me. I guess that's why I travel, I guess that's why I'm running. I can't be hounded when I'm hunting. And I like the way I feel when my hair and face are gritty. I'm the last girl on earth you would pity. I never asked for your pity. And though I hold him, I've already let him go. The one I thought was still in Ohio. Freedom is lonely, and so is the city where everybody's lonely, 'cause everybody's pretty. Everybody's pretty. Everybody's pretty. Everybody's pretty. Thank you. Thanks so much. I'll show you some of my poetry. And what I admire about so many of you that are also probably going to share it tonight is I have, the luxury of having this instrument to sort of protect me, and when I share my poetry, I feel like it's so much more vulnerable, and so I really respect everybody that does that. A lot of these I write late at night, alone in my room, and some of them I didn't think, whatever, I didn't know if I would publish them or put them out there, and I think people, there's some things that are just for you, but when you put stuff out there, a lot of times you don't realize how much it's going to relate to somebody. So hopefully some of these are relatable. And I know, don't you love my professional clipboard that I brought? Yeah. I have a day job too. All right, so I'm going to start with this one. This one is called Teddy Bears. 13. My legs knocked like wooden ship hulls, thin as palm malls, floating through 40-ounce seas, jumping baby gates for parties. Drink, smoke, see me. Drink, cry, mommy. Rocking myself to death. Look at us now, sisters. Still scabbed and raw because our teddy bears had teeth. We held ourselves hostage until the world was light enough to dream. Now we build glass houses so the world can see our tired faces, but know we are awake. Thank you. Ghost stories. We laughed about possessions and phantom footsteps as if we, the living, weren't starved for new eyes and scenery. I saw you in court, the child once screaming for her parents, now shoving her own baby into the mud. We moved, but the ghosts followed. I tell children sunlight is coming, though I don't know when. Thank you. That one was my previous job was I worked with at-risk youth and trafficking survivors and all sorts of kids from different pasts, and I have my own trauma, but being around these incredibly resilient kids, I wrote quite a few poems that I haven't published, obviously, because some of them felt like an invasion of privacy in a way, but they really inspired me. This one is called Safety. Drown me, April rain. Push me under the unbearable lightness of wait. What if I am enough? Gap-toothed wonder, pushed under tight lips with words cascading first like tea, hot then cold, sweet then bold, vanilla mouth full of protest. Drown me, April rain, in River Rat Alley, next to soft bellies swollen with ketchup and white bread. Wait, what if I am full of what could have been and not what is happening? No more beach bottles and back roads, no more screenshots and St. Augustine shells, no more garter snakes and chocolate eggs, midnight philosophies and morning sex. Drown me, April rain. Push me under the stained sheets and tell me it was all worth it. The misplaced hope, the shower tears, the belly laughs and the COVID years, the sad song commute, and the way I still carry fragments of Hollywood's imagination. Drown me, April rain. Fill my lungs with something lighter than loss. Fill them finally with safety. This one is called Spill. All belly, no guts. Sickly child inside. Heal and tell no one. Steal the sun and give it back to the moon. Without charisma and charm, forever in the shadow of louder, funnier, smarter. There is nothing worth breaking in a fishbowl except silence. You are meant to spill out and fill up empty space. This one is called Barn Swallowed. It's all bird brains in the circle of life, but a mother still flutters in desperation above, her baby swept in the wake below. Death is nuanced, with its panic and long-winded sprint to nothingness. Grief is cruel. A mother stops flying, her screech is barn swallowed, now barren and directionless, watching in quiet agony as the boat floats on. I cry for spiders and worms when a mother feeds them to her young, and I cry for little eggs at the bottom of the lake. How are we doing on time? I usually wear a watch, and then I was like about to look at it. And...
We're enjoying it. Keep going.
Okay. It's easy to get lost when you're reading.
You're fine.
This one is called Elements. Michigan tumbleweed, litter and nettle bouncing in the gale, pale and unassuming. An equal, born of trash and happenstance. Windows down, nose to the ground. I forget that I ever knew anything but the hunt. When will I surrender to the elements? God and evolution and love and science, and remember what it is to be flesh, and pleasure and science and love and God, what it is to feel powerless in the presence of man, beautiful man, who bathes me in laughter, beautiful enough to forget the scent I'm after. but I don't forget. Thank you. Moon. Treadmills, racing thoughts, aware of impending loss. Hearts pump at their own pace, but face to face, I forget to slow, gentle, patient, in the psych ward, with grip socks, a rite of passage. You remind me of the moon, sliver in a limitless sky, universe you don't share. Is it me, or the certainty of an end? Good enough to pretend, finite enough to forget, ruminating reflection of the sea and the earth, and me, now stuck on a memory of collecting cow bones and begging the cops to arrest that man, faceless killer with bones like those I held. But they tell me to be a good girl. Men always tell me to be a good girl. Do not love me, they say. Do not love me, but stay until you love nothing but the moon. I'm going to play another song, since that was sort of an anti-love song. On the other end of the spectrum, this is a love song. And this one sort of, in my mind, it wasn't like writing a poem, but it was sort of how when I write poems, I'm visualizing things at the same time. And I wrote this song when I was visualizing salmon swimming upstream. And I kept thinking about how that was such a great metaphor for when you love the wrong person. You're swimming upstream, you know, into the grizzly bear's mouth or into a waterfall. And so I wrote this song about how I felt kind of like a salmon until I met the right person, and then everything was really easy. So this is a love song, and it's called Salmon.
Looking back on love like a dream. Don't let me go. The windy low. Two salmon just swimming upstream. We're watching like bears from the green. New eyes. You can't hold a gun to love. It's never the right time to die. Bury me then with you in the end. Two salmon just dancing downstream, knowing death is the start of something.
Thank you. Am I ready to hand it off? Scott? Whenever you're ready. Let's get this party started. I'm ready to hear some other folks.
All right.
I'll come back up in a little bit.
Sounds good.
Thank you all for listening so intently.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we have talked about having Gretchen feature here for a long time, but it's middle of a weekday coming from Ann Arbor, and it's tricky to pull that off. And so glad this has worked out. Please give it up one more time for Gretchen Pleuss. Thank you so much. Beautiful. We are going to take a break here. It's a good time to get your drinks, to get your food, to use the restroom, to talk with another human in the room. This place is filled with amazing folks. Say hi, introduce yourself, give hugs to those you know, or handshakes or fist bumps or whatever you're so inclined to do. Suggested $5 donation, never a cover, but there's a suggested $5 donation. Gretchen's got to drive back to Ann Arbor, get some money over here. But you can also support Gretchen by buying a CD or a tote bag or things like that. And then there's merch on the table for Angry Cow Poetry as well. I do have hoodies. They've been going fast. I'm on my reorder already. I just got them recently, but I do still have some here. If you're interested, take a look at those. Yeah, so take a few minutes. If you're not yet on the open mic, let's make sure we get you there if you want to be, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. All right, y'all, we are going to get this started back up because we have a packed open mic list, and I want to allow some time to get these poets up here, or singers, whatever you might be bringing. Oh, there we are. Thank you so much. So, yeah. For the open mic, please keep it to 2 poems or less. If you've got an exceptionally long poem, that might be 1. But normally 2 poems or less, we should be good. Keep it moving. The first artist I'm bringing up to the mic, a regular here, and one of many things I love about this regular is always willing to take the lead and go first. A lot of people avoid the beginning of that sign-up list, but not. Our next poet to the mic, please welcome Sylvia Clark!
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Sylvia.
Thank you for your consideration, your time today. And this starts with a haiku.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Dying the Nightmare. Some asshole might ask, how are you? What do I say? I'm living the dream. Are you?
Oh.
My neighbor covets my greener grass from afar. Wow, he thinks, isn't that something? Isn't that everything? You know, I am the have, and he is the cannot. I think, therefore it is. I know I am. But what are you? Am I alone here? My doorbell films the dangers of my step. The snooping mailman, the stupid neighborhood kids, the stoop cats and dogs that reign, the colonies of sidewalk ants. I'm armed for recording their work, watching them widen the cracks of my antsy foundation, like unwelcome termites, crawling inside to devour my home, my food, my protection from their wild. Am I the old normal? I am the landlord of a feudal animal farm, aggregating the bountiful expanse, the expressionless sheep grazing to pay for my feuds, as I laugh all the way down the riverbank, down flumes of fuming gasoline. Does that smell right?
Yeah.
I want to set their infertile crescent moons. I want their futile seeds of country to fail their germination test of life until their springs fail to spring, refusing to hold the tension of the land. Where do I feel it? And while the nation turns their couch potato eyes to a naive naval exercise, looking for their guts with desperation, I gaze into a sunken stomach pit with decades of known hunger. What has always been there in the cell, knowing all I've been denied cannot be fed back in one day, defied at every turn, with only one mouth to consume the world, no longer through a maw, closed and buttoned at birth, unplugging from the belly of a once stainless refrigerator mom, who made me feel that I was stealing her power to run, who could not be caught nor catch on. And so I will perform this birth in reverse. I will part my jaws of life like postpartum hips. I finished that today, which is like a good stopping point, you know what I'm saying? Not all today. Okay, thank you very kindly though. Yeah. So because of that, the beginning of the month, at the end of the month is Halloween. So thought I'd do something a little. This is called Dark Assumption. I'll never roll with these cold knockouts that have always left me winded. My expiring, cramped lungs will be relieved at the phrase of breathable material. No space-time fabric will remain to clothe my nakedness. No air to fashion into a high-life form. No implied comforts of Homo sapiens. Only my grave implications. Only my dark assumption. I will be one of hell's hottest and brightest inductions. My body of dirty work in circulation at Satan's hall of flames. My roasted flesh on his rotisserie spit. Delicious on his forked tongue. Gutting me until my skydive stomach plummets at terminal velocity speed onto the blaze of sizzling bursts of steaming hot bile, my blood boiling over and over, just as on Earth, a life of acidic reflection spitting back in my face, slowly taking my expression.
Way to kick that off. Give it up one more time for Sylvia Clark. Next up to the open mic, joining us for the second time here. Excited to have you back. Please give a warm welcome to William Stone.
Give a little background to these is that, and when I talk to my high school kids, they just don't understand this. I got a job right out of college with National Park Service. Got to Isle Royal National Park, which is this island in the middle of nowhere in Lake Superior. Show up, they say, hey, congratulations. We have a new job for you. You're going to Wyoming. So I spent the next 10 months on the Yellowstone fire, fighting the fire at Yellowstone. But what that did for me was that gave me a huge chunk of money that I'd never had before. And so I decided that I was going to climb up, I was going to hike up the Appalachian Trail, cross the Pacific Crest, and then go abroad. And so these two poems were sort of fictioning, and one of the other things about this program is that I have a learning disability, so I've been writing my poems since 82 before, but I kept transferring to different computers. And I just realized when I came down here a couple months ago that more than half of my poems are on a Windows document that I can't open anymore. So now I got to figure out how to open up old documents so I can give my poems back.
Yeah.
All right, so this one is called What is Freedom to Me? Freedom is to me is to be in touch with yourself and your dreams. I believe I was free when I stood at Everest Base Camp at 17,500 feet and watched the sun on Everest and feel like it touched the sky. The thrill of a baby deer coming up in a mellow is freedom to me. Freedom comes when you hear the silence of the woods, the hills, where the sounds of cars, planes, and barking dogs cannot be heard. Freedom is with all of us. We do what we enjoy. And since I graduated from high school, I haven't seen my face. And in college, I looked like one of the Oakland boys. My beard was down here, my hair was long, and everybody called me Grizzly, like Grizzly Adams.
All right.
And one of the things of living out in Wyoming and Montana was I'd always wanted to live in a log cabin. And one of the guys there said that he had a cabin up in the mountains in Montana, and that I was more than free to live there as long as I wanted. So, the room is one of past. It's a log cabin. The room is large, one with two large and one small window. The windows are set thick in sturdy walls made of large debarked white pine logs, 9 blocks high. The cracks between the logs are filled with pictures of clay, mud, and grass that have hardened like concrete. 2 wooden shutters are hung on the outside of each window, used to shut out the cold winter storm. The windows overlook a lush, old-root forest as far as you can see to the north and to the east. To the west, all you see are snow-covered peaks that reach to meet the endless blue sky. The sky, you see the majestic peaks. In the south, the large crystal blue alpine lake with an abundance of fish. I also see the endless labors of a large beaver trying to dam one of the many tributaries of this lake. Inside the cabin, at the far end of the room, stands a large stone fireplace filled with glowing coals. Over the coals hang a large cast iron pot. The pot is full of hot and delicious, nutritious venison stew. It's supported by a swinging iron arm. Beside the fire, There's a small window lately covered with wood ash. Over the fireplace, there's a heavy wooden mantel. On the mantel stand 2 oil lamps. The glass of the lamps is darkened by years of use. Also on the mantel lays a harmonica, 2 jaw hooks, and a candle holder that covered with many years of wax. 2 rifles hang on single peg above the mantel. On the hard-packed dirt floor in front of this fireplace sits a stool, smooth by years of use. The sticking in the stool is a whittling knife. At the opposite end of the room is a small wood cook stove. The walls behind the stove are taken up with large windows, many shelves, and several wooden pegs. On the shelves are crammed canisters and wooden canisters of flour, tea, sugar, and lard. On several other shelves set rows of canned and preserved foods, cups and silverware and pans. On the wooden pegs hang other pots and utensils. On the stove sits a large blue coffee pot and a black and iron skillet. The pile of split wood sits next to the stove. Along the wall, under the large window, stands a small oak table, 2 oak chairs and a wooden bucket. The small door, made of wooden planks, is hung with 3 large steel hinges set in the wall. Across the door hangs a curtain of hand-tanned skin to insulate the cabin from the intrusion of the cold winter air. A razor-sharp 2-bladed axe and saw hang close to the door. The back wall of the cabin is hard-packed dirt because the cabin is built into the hillside. In the wall, closest to the fireplace, is the bed made of ash planks lashed to 2 logs set into the wall. The mattress consists of several large animal pellets and a down comforter folded on top of the mattress and 2 wool 8-point Hudson Bay Trader blankets. Under the bed is a cedar chest where I store my clothes. The ladder set in the wall leads to a store loft. The loft stores tools, other chests of clothes, and large metal ammo box of black powder and shot, and shells for the 2 rifles. There's also a large black case containing a high-powered telescope and stand. Hanging from the floor of the loft are 3 bookshelves packed full of used and loved books. The collection consists of survival, how-to, and identification. Poets like Service, Frost, and Poe. Novelists like London, Hemingway, and Thoreau. But the smoke of the dark rafters hangs several quarters of venison, strings of dried meat. Close to the meat hangs from the hook is a cleaver used to cut the meat. Strings of dried fruits, herbs, and vegetables decorate the rafters. Back from the fireplace, hard-packed dirt floor covered by many woven mats adds color and livability to the cabin. In the middle of the floor, in front of the fireplace, sits a lone rocking chair with a deer skin as a pad. Outside the cabin and just up the hill is the smokehouse, the woodshed, and the well pit. To some, this may seem like a primitive and backyard. To me, it was the house of my dreams.
Right.
All right. Next up to the open mic, one of our most regular attendees, often comes early, right here in the Rialto. Please welcome Ed Amann.
Listen up, it goes by quick. That's why I do this. I'm normally a singer, 3 minutes, 4 minutes a clip.
Yeah.
This is like 30 seconds a clip. Of all the songs that you could sing, it had to be that one. Every single time I hear it, my heart comes all undone. Goes wandering back to better days before we fell apart. Makes me want to go and look you up, try to make another start. I tried it several times before. It always ends the same. We find the button not to push. It's the way we play the game. We don't seem to know the way to leave things well enough alone. Always wanting something more until our 11 days have flown.
Yeah.
And like Keith said, I always rate something here. While you wait. Early autumn, sunset bright, just waiting for a friend. Been a while, some things have changed, wonder how the night will end. The world is getting harder, but there's still some pleasure here. The news grows harsher every day, but let's not submit to fear. Don't let them scare you into silence. That's what they're trying hard to do. Instead, let's be together now until this storm blows through. I will be performing music here on November the 8th at 5:30.
Give it up one more time for Amann. So if anyone I filmed tonight and you don't want to be filmed, let me know. If you don't want a video, let me know and I won't put it on there. I think most of you I've filmed before already, but let me know. I don't want to put anyone out there. But one of the things I like about being able to put this film back on event is the features are always fantastic. I'm so excited for Gretchen. But the open mic is a lot of what brings it too, and I like bringing those voices and having those on the record too. So next up we have hopefully a regular here who's come twice in a row. We were published in the same collaboration together with individual poems, and I'm really excited you're coming back. Please welcome to the mic, our Lansing.
All right, we're good. We're just going to strap in and do this. These come as a pair.
Woo!
Both begin with epigraphs from singer-songwriter The Narcissist Cookbook. First one says, "And of course, we are great galaxies with spiraling arms, but some people are a little bit bigger." Cosmos Conjecture. Our paths crossed, again, twice. The first time when I got married, you stood proudly, a stranger witness to a moment that never should have been. The second time, I was so badly sunburned I'd slept in the bathtub, traded sandpaper sheets for the cool of porcelain. Gingerly, I deposited myself into the back seat of your truck. You talked about what I don't remember. I was preoccupied by my brimstone skin. Even now, I struggle to recall anything more than the inferno I'd accidentally wrapped myself in. I sat, burning in the pew while your fingers coaxed strings, sending notes you were sure ascended to heaven. It was strange, seeing you sober and playing music. You played when I was a child. Your singularity hidden at the bottom of ice-cold ones in red solo cups. Two infinite hands of curiosity reached for the event horizon, yet you held the drink above you. Space-time curved drunkenly, and you pretended to parent, telling me I was too young. I watched your physics break down. You slipped beyond where I could see you. And for years, my time flowed almost normally, while you stretched, particles shredding the space between us, until I slipped beyond and found you on the other side, where time slowed. And my skin blistered beneath the UV of poolside slumber. In this other universe, your cosmic disruption screamed divine. I sat, sweltering in the pew, while your bald head glistened, the sweat beating, pooling into a halo beneath the fluorescent lights. The notes dripped upwards, bent backwards in defiance of natural order, because in this universe the only order was ordained and the strings followed instruction. Your fingers danced along the fret and I was fraught with confusion. Was I burning or exploding? When our paths crossed again, were we outrunning gravity? Epigraph 2. Maybe I can start the actual process of gathering up these emotions and finding a place for them, and me this time, where they belong. Cosmic censorship. In this race, I was the tortoise and you the hare. Only there was no winner at the end of Slow and Steady, just a downward trajectory into atmospheric entry. Or was it entropy? I couldn't tell. If we were headed for the horizon or breaking away from orbit as I failed to fall asleep in the waiting room. While they took you beyond where I could see you, past where answers reached, fading like a comet's tail. Our breath hung like pauses in the air when we walked to the car many hours later. It was cold that January, but they'd already administered a chill January couldn't touch. You were hatless. The smoothness of your scalp reminded me of Mars. My orbit felt irregular when I put my arms around you, but I hugged you anyway, trying, in a way, to push away the matter. But when the invisible is implied by gravity and serves as cosmic scaffolding, the structural collapse is silent. I watched your body physically break down. I thought the slower I ran toward the end, maybe the rotation would reverse, find revelation in a backwards revolution, but we were destined to eclipse only twice. Before the cosmos wailed and I saw the universe inside of you, they slapped a map of you against the white light. Each black spot on your bones stared unblinking, a one-way trip to oblivion. The year you turned 60, I became a member of the Dead Dads Club. They don't tell you the cost of membership is a soundless, violent death. They don't tell you death is for the living, where we pay our energy debt to empty space.
Beautiful. Hugs and applause, please, to our Lansing. The next talented poet coming up to the mic, I think I can call a regular here now. We've shared a lot of different spaces and a lot of different venues, and I'm so excited to keep coming back out. Please welcome to the mic, Middle Child!
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. How y'all feeling tonight?
Good.
Come on, let me get a little more energy in that. How y'all feeling tonight? Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Shout out to the guy doing all the yelling. You're hype, man. I love that. All right. My name is Middle Child, and I'm a multifaceted artist. I do a little bit of everything. Jack of all trades, master of none, you feel me? But tonight, I'm finna be doing some poetry for y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all like that? Yeah. All right, up. So this first piece I'm gonna read, I wrote this based off the Sonia Sanchez poem, This Is Not a Small Voice. My voice nowhere near small. My diction be like thunder when I spit this. They say niggas is known for being loud. And this side voice never been a thing for me. Boisterous energy serves as symphonies. I be ski as much as I am by any means necessary. Niggas be too loud, booming like thunder. Surprised as if Storm ain't played by Halle Berry. My voice came from 35th and them adjacent streets where the boobs, leaks, and Saeeds frequent. Niggas on them street corners coming to Jesus, the mass quiet fields, the Sunday morning air. My voice be like the clacking of the barrettes, adorned braids from the indigos, diamonds, and tenaciousness from around my way. And that's that one. Alright, this one, I honestly don't even remember when I wrote this one. It was sometime in high school, but I seen it scrolling through, so I figured I read it. It don't even have a title, that's how old it is. Her eyes are brown, reminiscent of sepia photo shoots. Daydream of hazel eyes, her gaze I consume. She could be the death of me, I wouldn't notice, cause little mama gives me life, the feeling I can't ignore it, euphoric in her ways. Her presence provides a spiritual cleanse in the way sage burns. My response to it, the way she makes my soul yearn. Every brick I built up of the walls of uncertainty and isolation come crashing down. Mortar weakens, new, the calm to my storm. When rough waters rock my boat. When I feel I'm succumbing to the sea of life's pressure and gloom, she keeps me afloat. us two souls that come upon the new religion, swimming amongst sun as our baptism. Thank you.
And then that's the downside of after middle child goes, is I got to readjust the camera. I couldn't lift it high enough, I had to tilt it, which means I got to bring it back. Please give it up one more time for middle child. Next up, the open mic, we have another regular, comes a long way when you come out to these events. Former feature at this event, you can find that online, see TaJuan's whole set, but also an upcoming feature up in Erie, so shout that out when you're up here. Please welcome to the mic, TaJuan sKai! And I have to get the mic high enough for TaJuan, or TaJuan will lean down. That's how nice this dude is. And if I don't adjust the mic right, TaJuan will just go wherever the mic is.
And I do not mind, absolutely. I hope we all are doing well. I'm going to read two poems from my chapbook that I'm working on titled Lake Fire. So the first one is actually titled, I Had a Dream About Your Head as a Bonfire.
I love it already.
No, it's kind of crazy. It's wild. I had a dream about your head as a bonfire, and to risk cliche, I want to say I made the cloudless sky rain for you, cleansing like a sweet catharsis so we could leave these bodies like tattered clothes and dance soulful in the freshly wet wind like the one memory I will forever be an oyster for. I want to say this, and any other beautiful nothings necessary to make you believe I am a good son. I had a dream about your head as a bonfire because this TaJuan mind needed comfort because you left in January cold. Because we have only seen each other for 5 hours over the last 5 years, and I do not know who to blame. The blueprints of my life have become difficult to read. With all this absence in my blood, does anyone know who I really am? I had a dream because I no longer sleepwalk towards you, glitching against the wall until Grandma herded me back to bed. Who am I really without this absence in my blood? I had a dream about your head as a bonfire, and you screamed white lacerations into the already sharp air, crying for your own dad, slicing my wrists open with revelation and reverence. I had a dream about you because I missed you my whole life. Even the scenes you were present, imprisoned in your own father's prescribed anhedonia. I had a dream about your head on fire because that is how the child in me remembers you best, even with the pearl of rainwater euphoria. I had a dream about your head as a bonfire, but I couldn't conjure up the proper image to save you. So I lit my own head in flames like the only love that I know, to become fluent in your language of loss. Poem. So my poetry does focus on currently right now. I'm willing to change in the future, but trauma and its survival, and it makes me look at myself, in ways that, that pushes me to grow. And I use my poetry as a way to push that growth. I notice, it's hard to not notice, that I apologize quite frequently. And I know I work with this kid, I won't say his name, but he apologizes a lot too. And it seems like a sickness of some kind, and I don't know, I can't say for him where it comes from, But in this poem, I theorize where it comes from in me. This poem is titled Apologies and Guillotine. What are these emotions doing here? I apologize to the air again with no relief. It has only been survival, poor for the longest. Another apology release from my lips. Sick reflex learned young. Another way language has failed us. My old man and his shadow. I confess, I wish I liked American cheese more. Laugh, but you couldn't imagine his rage. I apologize to nothing for nothing by his design. He was no God, but his light was more familiar, nourishing despite its tendency to burn. I confess, I wish I never dyed my hair a queer fire, his fury impossible to quench, inevitable like a bullet to the liver, like Depakote down the gullet. All the ways I withered with apologies and guillotines to heal from the words I cannot remember. I confess, I wish I didn't say whatever I said that led him combusting, bursting through grandma's door, arrested in godlight, handcuffs as pathetic replacement for goodbye. I wish I had the words to soothe him before he smothered my mother's face, blush and bruised against her steering wheel. Or at least had the decency to keep my eyes lightless. I'm sorry. I was only a kid, a flower child, and all I ever wished for was his Amaranthian love to exhaust me without prerequisites. Only his 20-something-year-old arms, always around me, like in the photographs I now hold, till purple like death. In my 20-something-year-old arms, yearning for these times I barely knew. What are these emotions doing here? Poem.
TaJuan, I think you're ready for your feature. What's the date? Do you have it on top of your head?
It's
Yeah.
October 20-something. It's a Tuesday, the first.
All right, we're going to get this. You might get this right now. All right, while TaJuan's looking this out, I'm going to shout out a couple folks. Give it up for the energy Scott Fox is bringing back here. Good to have you in the room. Give it up for the Rialto Theatre, making your drinks, making your food, hosting this space. And I will tell you, in this amazing, beautiful bar in Akron that has been for 10 years uplifting artists, musicians, singers, poets, dancers. They also have the best damn vegan pizza in town, and I would never have guessed that, but I'm so grateful you bring that as well. So many good things about this place. I love these guys. This event never would have happened without Seth Vale right there. TaJuan, do we have a date for your feature in Erie?
October 21st. It is on a Tuesday.
There you go. It's worth marking those calendars for. Next up to the open mic, we talked about some distance. I'm not sure if I'm going in order, but I don't need to go in the order. We're going to get everybody up here. Another regular to the open mic has traveled some major distance always to get here. Even when she couldn't come, has been one of the most Facebook supportive people ever. If you've not yet connected with the next poet, you really should. Please welcome to the mic, Gigi Engelhardt!
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Gigi.
Okay. First poem. There's going to be no backstory here. Washing windows. It's like Jesus is coming to town, wearing her lucky, lucky, lucky St. Patrick's Day t-shirt and grinning ear to ear, grabbing a bucket of Lysol water and grabbing some scrubby sponges. Holy cow. It's like Jesus is coming to town. Mama has gotten all excited again. She's dancing around the house, singing and swinging her hips all day, wiping down the furniture and throwing things away. Windex on the window and smiling like the sun, because there's someone she wants to see walking in that door. With no smudges, no fingerprints or fudgesicle dripping, no dog spit, no dead bugs. She's smiling and she's wiping down this window inside and out, excited for him to finally step through that door. My lover is coming to town, and it's like the second coming of Jesus Christ around here. Dude, she's smiling, washing windows. And he broke up with me 9 days later after his ex-wife came home and never graced my door.
No.
But poem 2 is a little happier because I was lost in Mr. Frost. Now he's a goner. Jack who?
Yeah.
So you know what though? I decided to do like Mae West said, and Dua Lipa said it again. The only way to get over him is to get under someone else. Get back on the saddle and go get you some girl.
Let's go, Gigi.
So, my X-rated erotica. Thank you for putting up with me, people.
We love you.
I got, like, when I hooked up with my husband at 17, I never had a wild childhood. Now I'm having it finally. Thank you for indulging me. Okay, and you know what? A hookup date is really beyond great when I can't even wait for the ride home to get the poetry out of my mouth. Keith is my witness. I was voice texting him on my way home from Pennsylvania. I started dictating the poem the minute I started driving out of this guy's neighborhood. That's how good it was. I will call this In the Flight Path. He snuck me underneath the stars next to a swimming pool, cracked the beer open, then looked into my eyes and put it down. Drinks can wait, touch cannot. His kiss divine, more tender and sweet than I expected. For a 48-hour turnaround from, hello, nice to meet you, to, too bad you can't sneak me into your house tonight, to, oh yes, I want that too, and then send me your deets. Who would have thought when I woke up this morning that I'd end up on the best, completely serendipitous, totally unexpected, unplanned, last-minute hookup date that turned out to be the most romantic date of the entire summer. And that's the summer of a lot of dates, folks. The most dates ever in my life. That's saying a lot. 2 Chase lounges with warm, cozy, soft fleece Sherpa blankets awaited me. And these Chase lounges were big enough to fit 2 shack of meals on. 2 of them together, huge. They awaited me as we stood and kissed. And gradually we worked our way toward horizontal. As he touched my body, I feel his gentleness and his strength through his hands. I lay back and let him guide me down, laying comfortably, both nude, outdoors. And I let him hover over me and explore all the parts of me that used to bring me such humiliation because they are no longer young and pure and virgin. But his caresses offer no complaint. Nothing but adoration from him for the body I now love and cherish too. He generously allowed me to lay back and be pleasured. And as I hear him breathing and gently moaning in appreciation and enthusiasm for my pleasure, I melt and melt and melt into him. And suddenly I realize I am laying on a deck next to a fabulous swimming pool that is lit up with underlighting, being made love to by a hot Italian stranger who is a fucking stallion stud under the perfectly clear late night sky with Cassiopeia, my favorite constellation, shining down upon me as the incoming flights to Pittsburgh International Airport are aligning and approaching the runways over and over again, while he's causing waves of pleasure to pulsate through me, making me want him ravenously. We tumble through the night together in every imaginable position on and around the Chase Lounge. I can't believe this is happening to me. I mean, yes, I made this happen. He's making this happen. We both said, yes, I drove here, or I took this risk. I'm doing this naughty, sneaky, amazingly, excitingly fun deed tonight. But I can't believe it's turning out to be like Cinderella's fucking dream for me. I am in awe. A dream date night I didn't wake up this morning expecting at all. I never even dreamed of this scenario in any of my thousands of fantasies. But am I ever glad everything worked out exactly the way it did tonight? I didn't expect a prolonged ecstatic scream at the climax of watching him truly adoring my body. My overweight, wrinkly, stretch-marked, bat-winged body, and he is loving it. Both of us are releasing every exotic breath with total inhibition. What a fucking night of not just fabulous sex, but lovemaking. I hit the jackpot on Facebook dating tonight. History was made, for I have never allowed myself to truly love a guy named Mike again. Once the first Mike broke my heart. But I opened my heart and my legs to a stranger tonight, to a great guy named Mike, who showed me that Mikes can be good guys too. And now I don't have to associate the name Mike with pain and heartbreak anymore. I replaced those old neural pathways with a new splendid magic Mike memory. No advanced planning, no strings attached. We had the most ecstatic experience under the stars in the flight path, speaking ever so quietly, walking together through the grass with flashlights through the classiest, most elegant neighborhood in Pittsburgh, where I parked a block away so that two adorable 11-year-old twins sleeping soundly tonight will stay asleep while Dad finally gets to enjoy a little well-deserved adult time. From the soft and tender kisses he bestowed upon me to the warm beer spilled out and never drunk. I've never had an Italian lover before tonight, but now am I so glad I did. If he made me his appetizer, I made him my dessert. And it was so delightful to hear how pleased and appreciative he was, in awe with the way I made my love to him too. Under the stars, with my favorite constellation, Cassiopeia, right smack in the center of the sky, in my face in the flight path. I'm a Wright Brothers girl. Milton and Susan, I love everything about flight. How the fuck is this my fucking charmed life? I can't believe this is happening after all the date duds and disasters I've been through. I mean, 3 guys come with no dentures, and I just had to add that line. Casual sex turned out to be intimate. People say don't waste your time on fuckboys. Well, I don't think this was a waste of time at all. This was well worth the risk, well worth the drive. Now one of the best memories in my bucket list of life. I didn't even know I wanted it until we created it together with magical alchemy of the universe. 2 strangers co-created the best sex they could have asked for because they both came to the table not just to have sex, but ready to make love with a stranger, just because that's the kind of people they both are. 2 pretty good people with severe skin hunger and intimacy hunger. Adults just seeking physical contact and pleasure, and taking a big risk with each other, and generously pleasing one another as if it was the most important thing in the world during those moments. 2 people taking a risk and winning, and leaving the encounter so happy and satisfied with who they are individually and can join together in the intimate dance of pleasure. So here's a win for all the single people out there tonight. I wish you all a clear night sky, graced by Cassiopeia, making love to a hot Italian lover, totally unexpectedly, some warm, clear, gorgeous summer night in the flight path.
All right. Gigi, how old were you when you started writing poetry?
About 8.
About 8. When Gigi first came here, what was it, 2 years ago, 2.5? Whenever you first came, whenever it was coming here, it was the first time you actually shared your poetry aloud, that it was not just on paper, but here. And I am so glad you're part of this community, so glad you're here. Please give it one more time for Gigi! All right, speaking of traveling long distance, not for tonight, but our next poet to the mic comes to us from Texas, and we're so glad you're in these parts right now. I don't know how long that plan's to. I hope that's staying. Please give it up for AIM!
I am indeed from Texas.
Yeah.
I moved up here when I was 21.
Okay.
And now I'll be 24
When?
Saturday.
Woo!
This Saturday. So, you know.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Okay. So I have a poem that I wrote. It's called, I don't know if y'all know Victoria Chang. She has a book called Obit. So I decided to try that format. So here goes nothing. Patricia Ann Grimes died on February 4th, 2022. Her brain deteriorated, unable to recognize people, places, and things. The last time we spoke, she mistaken me for my mother, her voice shaken and defensive. That was the moment it became real. The woman who I knew all my life no longer knew me. She left me with a name that I can't hear the same. She left me with a month I can no longer share. My grief was over until it wasn't. It spread out. It's in the butterflies she watched in her chair. It's in the yellow roses my mother sent her for her birthday. It's in the cards she wrote but I no longer have. It's in the stories she would tell me over and over again. She may no longer be physical. She's spiritual. She is one with my soul. She's everywhere. Most of all, she's within me. So this next poem is really vulnerable. It's called Ode to 23. I wrote it right before my 23rd birthday. And all I have to say is, to the 15-year-old girl who thought she'd never heal. She was 15 when she fell in love with a facade. She was 15 when he deflowered her, soiled her garden with poison. A waterfall of tears couldn't even save it. She was 16, scared to death that he planted his seed into her disheveled garden. This is where she felt her heart began to harden. She was 17, coming to realization that the torture her garden endured was just the beginning. The more she grew, he tore her down, ripped her from the roots. From then on, she was hindered. She was 18 when the truth hit her. She hit the ground face first, her palms covered in blood, her face pummeled, her heart heavy. Her garden was no longer. No flowers, no sun, no water, no life. 19 came along. He wasn't around to rub in his destruction. He didn't have to be. Etched into her memory, here lies a new cemetery. 20 came along. This could be her fresh start. Still no garden. There was something growing in her heart. It was small, but it made all the difference. What she had was hope. 21 came with loss. It became with becoming one. It came with a new journey. 22 has more than a new. It came with laughter. It came with love. She was finally starting to feel alive again. It was time for a new garden. Now she's 23. Her garden is alive. She nurtures it every day, watering it with affection, nourishing it with kindness, planting new seeds of love. She is me. Nice to meet you. My name is Amy. Welcome to my garden.
Yeah. Fantastic. Give it up one more time for AIM. We have just a few left on the open mic. How y'all feeling?
Yeah!
Good. I want to do a couple more shout outs. Jim and Georgianne Ballard have been supporting this event, been coming out almost every single month for the entire run of this show. In the back, always enjoying it. Shout them out. They're amazing. And on top of just the amazing humans they are, Jim's also a really great artist, a singer, songwriter, guitar player who is very much about building community. We got to do this concert for peace that lots of different poets and artists will have video coming. For those who weren't there, I know Ellen was with us there. And every first Thursday, so tomorrow, Jim's in the back room here with two guests. And if I'm not mistaken, Nate Vale is one of them from the Rialto Theatre here. And Corey Jenkins is the other. Is that accurate?
Corey Jenkins, yeah.
Corey Jenkins is the other. It's going to be a great show. 5 o'clock tomorrow in the back room. If anybody is free and available, please come out to that. And then I want to shout out Ellen Stair right here. So Ellen is always, please. Ellen is always out supporting with energy, but also with amazing video skills and camera skills, and never wants anything in return. I had Ellen film one of my events, the 3-year anniversary in the back. I tried to pay her, I believe, 3 times at least, and she turned it down every single time, just there to lift artists, to lift support, to lift love, and appreciate you very much. Glad you're here. So that leaves us to 3 poets, including myself on the open mic. Have you ever been at this event? I don't think you have, right? Okay. Now, Sylk and I shared a lot of space up at Lift Every Voice, amazing poetry event, open mic, 2nd and 4th Saturday up in Bedford Heights. And Lift Every Voice and Angry Cow Poetry collaborated on an event. I know you were there for that. And I'm really glad you make it down here. But first time to this mic, please welcome Sylk.
All right, we're going to do one that you're going to recognize the theme of.
Yeah, please.
You know this theme, you just don't know this poem.
All right. Love it.
I swear I'm not cocky, I just write, so you know.
You bring it.
I'm Sylk. I don't chase love, I let it appear. A wink and a laugh, then I'm all in her ear. I give her that calm like I cancel her fear. But when she says stay, I disappear. No place for regret, no reason to hide. I give them the stars, the moon, and the tide, but never the promise to stand by their side. I offer the jump start, not the lifelong ride. They say that I'm cold, but I call it precise. I don't gamble hearts on a roll of the dice. I've seen love bloom and turn into vice, so I guard what I give, and I don't offer it twice. They always remember, they always replay, the night that we met, the things that I say, the touch of my hands that never betray, the space that I held before I slipped away. I leave before storms, before the deep talks, before love is mapped out and vision board chalk. Before she gets clingy and watches the clock, I vanish like smoke, no key and no lock. I'm not heartless, I'm cautious. I've seen love combust. Watch passion decay into pity and dust. So I give them a memory, not rust, just enough real to inspire some trust. They remember my name, they whisper it low, in poems and in journals that they'll never let show. 'Cause I'm the one that came through with that glow. Left her aching, evolving with better, you know? So no, I don't linger, don't ask me to stay. I leave while the fire still lights up the way. I'm Sylk, unforgettable, that's what she used to say. The one that she loved but couldn't make stay. So I preface that because I read it and somebody told me that I sounded cocky. They were like, when you get all that cockiness? So I said, let me go all the way back on you with the cockiness there, right?
Yeah.
So this is when I started college. Didn't plan to leave home so fast. High school ended, I thought I'd rest at last. But acceptance letters came and pride said go, even when my spirit whispered no. I tested too high to be placed, like my brain ran track and beat the race. Said, no summer math, you're off the chart. No tutors here for a mind that smart. Who needs a tutor? I scoffed with grace. Already knew the numbers, just not the space between what they'd expect and what I'd bring. Book smarts, bold heart, and a mind that stings. Dorm key clicked and I crossed that floor. Learned space with wolves who kept the score. Ciroc burned more than my pride that night, but I also learned which drinks steal your light. Swapped out calculus for Kant and cause. Philosophy now, no pause, no flaws. Plato said, know thyself, so I tried. Between classes, video games, and late night pride. Angela Davis echoed in my pen. Radical means grasping things at the root. Back then, I started digging past what they taught, finding myself in every thought. Bell hooks whispered, soft but sure, love is a practice of freedom, and I wanted more. So I loved my mind and I let it grow in dorm room corners where truths would show. Sartre said we're condemned to be free, but Audre Lorde looked more like me. She said caring for yourself is not self-indulgence. See, it's survival, and I did it stylishly. I stood in rooms never meant for me, where Socrates met black girl energy. Wrote Baldwin in the margins too. Know from whence you came, and I always do. No one prepared me for this blend of first, of fire, foe, and friend. But I stayed, I read, I spoke with might, quoted Malcolm under LED dorm lights. Education is the passport to the future. That's bold, so I carried mine trimmed in gold. And even when the quiet crept, I climbed, I called, I leapt, I wept. Too high to be placed, that's the truth I wear. A scholar with coils and an unapologetic stare. Each page I turn, a step I claim, with ancestors watching, whispering my name.
Thank you so much. Give it up for Sylk. Always love hearing you, my friend. So we have two more to the open mic. We have a lot of musical talent in this room. We've got Ed Amann over here to sing our song Get to Your Poetry tonight. We're claiming Gretchen Pleuss for Akron for as long as we can. I know she doesn't sleep here at night, but she's still Akron to us. We talked about Jim Ballard already. We talked about Nate Vale already. But another one of the amazing, talented folks in this area, beautiful singer, beautiful keyboard player, part of the band Church of Starry Wisdom. Please welcome to the mic, Amygdala!
I'm gonna do a hybrid.
Yeah.
Hello.
Why is it to visit this a hereditary predatory planet, commandeered by pyramid-tiered killers and spies? We eat the lies. Our enmeshment in displeasant contracts, we willingly sign our consent for promises and secret prizes, shiny toys and comfortable death, when our very light's life breath serves a dark machine, forged from a cataclysmic dream of another reset beset upon us. The matrix laced we who were deceived into unknowing ourselves. Through the spells we participate in, currently currency taking the cake and eats us too. And we, ravenous for substance, seek justice turned revenge, we devour our friends. When our echo chambers resemble favors we made ourselves to react against the pain we incurred, not seeing we're feeding the flames that started this dumpster fire. The war is won, 'cause you're fighting yourself, inviting the dark to more fun. And our space, our final resting place and collective interface, the abandoned humanities, the casual casualties.
I got one more. I'm cheating because it's sort of a cover. My sister wrote it, and I used to sing it with her in my old band. But I think it's very important.
Yeah.
Kill the messenger, that's what we do. Dogs fighting over scraps of food. Confused desire, distract their thoughts, convince them they want what they ought not. Grit them off, dull their minds, convince them they are all different kinds. It's so easy to divide them, arbitrary choices will define them.
Wow. Why did I put myself after you? Give it up for Amygdala! The talent in this room is crazy. Connect with each other, follow each other. There's features, there's concerts, there's all kinds of events going on out there. Support each other. Art's so important. And thank you. And next to the open mic, please welcome me. Thank you. So I'm going to share a couple pieces too. I do want to put a little, thank you. I'm going to put a little disclaimer on this one because I shared it on Facebook and I think it came off to some like it was hateful, and it wasn't supposed to be hateful. We've had, I think, 350-ish school shootings since Columbine High School in 1999. And we had one particular school shooting that everybody started talking about, that you were supposed to care about. And the particular person shot was not someone I wanted to care about. Didn't wish him dead, didn't wish the violence, but not someone that I want. And we had school children shot at the same exact day. And our response traditionally to 350-ish school shootings is we offer thoughts and prayers, which politically are absolutely meaningless and do nothing and change nothing. And so this poem is my response to that. It's more of, I got nothing on this. This is 6 haikus strung together. I think I've got this, but got it in my pocket if I need it. No thoughts, no prayers for the racist homophobe dying by the gun. Dying by the gun, the American motto, dog tagged on backpacks. Dog tagged on backpacks scattered along the hallway while school children cry. While school children cry, America embraces the weapons of death. The weapons of death hit a bigot in the neck. Now you want my tears. Now you want my tears. I've got nothing to give. No thoughts, no prayers. Thank you. I'm going to do one more. This poem, so Gretchen Pleuss and Zach Friedhoff, dear friend of both of ours, and I were doing a concert here at the Rialto in the back room, and we were planning for this event. We're mixing poetry and song and putting music under poetry and like just really intermingled it. It was such a beautiful night. At least the third time we've done that together. But the last time, because somebody moved out of the fucking state. But we were talking about how, I blame no one. But we were talking about how to end this, and Zach's like, we want this. What's that? They both did. Yeah, that's true. Everybody left me. What the fuck? But y'all are here. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't even know who left first at that point in time. So we were planning for this concert, and Zach was like, we need to end with this uplifting song. I'm like, I don't write happy shit, man. It's just not what tends to come out. And Gretchen, before falling in love writing Salmon, Gretchen's like I'm empty too. And it's like, Gretchen though can sing harmony, and I fucking can't. And so we could end with the Zach song, we could play Gretchen on harmony, I put a little bit inside of it, a little poetry inside of it. But Zach and I were talking as we were planning for this, of like, well, you should write a happy poem. And it was the concert. It's like a week after Jalen Walker got shot. It was within a month, I think, of Roe v. Wade being overturned. And so I'm like, I'm trying to write a happy poem, but like all this shit's happening. And like, how do you write happy out of this? And Zach's like, all right, well, write a poem about trying to write a happy poem. And so I'm like, okay, that's a cool idea. I mean, we were like a few days before the concert. And then Gretchen was playing in Worcester, and Zach and I went to listen to you perform, I think the night before our show here. And we came back home after Gretchen did an amazing show. And the fireflies were just beautiful out in the yard. And we pulled up chairs, and Zach and I just sat in my yard and watched these fireflies. And so the night before that show, after walking away from that, I wrote this poem. Again, I hope I have this memorized. I'm trying to write a happy poem. So I sit watching the fireflies rapidly flashing through the trees, trying to write a happy poem. But then I remembered the rapid flashing of 90 bullets into the blurred image of another unarmed black man taken at the hands of the law, trying to write a happy poem. So I sit snuggling my dog and listen to the sound of his heartbeat. And then I think about Jalen Walker doesn't have one anymore. I'm trying to write a happy poem. So I listen to the coyote howl in the peacefulness of the night sky. I'm trying to write a happy poem. But I hear our city officials call for peace while police use a protester as a punching bag. I'm trying to write a happy poem. But the canvas continues to be splattered in red. I'm trying to write a happy poem. Naively hoping that somehow enough good folks with a poem, or a song, or a camera, or a mural might defeat some bad guys with guns and badges. I'm trying to write a happy poem where justice wins in the end, where police are held accountable, where the system is changed, where I pull up my red hood and don my perfectly sized glass slippers and follow the breadcrumbs all the way to grandmother's house, where the porridge is not too cold and it's not too hot, because I'm trying to write a happy poem, but the wolf gobbles me up as the clock strikes midnight and my poem turns back into a pumpkin. Appreciate y'all. How are y'all feeling? We have reached the point in the night where what we have left is our feature. Do y'all want a few minutes to break, drink, restroom, things like that? Are y'all ready to roll? What's that? Someone needs a restroom? Okay. I need to change the battery in my camera. We'll take a real short, like for real short break. Not a poetry 15-minute break when I say 5. Like a for real short break. Let me change the camera. We'll get Gigi in the bathroom. Get your last drinks from Seth. And we'll come right back up with our feature. All right, as promised, that was a quick break because I want to keep this night moving. For real quick break. Y'all are welcome to hang out and chat more after Gretchen goes, but I do want to get this going to make sure we've got everybody. I don't want people to walk out. Great night. I want to cap this off. I'm so excited to bring you back up to the stage. Friend for a long time. You know, I talk about, I don't personally believe in an afterlife, believe in whatever you want. But the idea of like, you know, oh, what would angels sound like? In my head, they sound like Gretchen. Like this is what angels, some of them, the variety and diversity of angels, but some of them in my head, like that's what they would sound like if they were there. Please welcome back to the mic, my friend Gretchen Pleuss.
Thanks, Keith. I'm blown away. Everybody is incredible. And so give it up for yourselves. Seriously. Also, I didn't think that was cocky at all. I thought it was confident.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's go sit.
Stay still.
All right, I'm going to start it off with a song. This is one, I don't know, I don't need to really give a backstory. You're all good listeners. I will say that though, this is one that I wrote when I was feeling sort of burnt out. I took a little hiatus from music for a minute, just needed a reset.
You plug in?
I don't know, am I? I was like, why am I not getting sick? I'm a professional.
Oh yeah, you don't have the chords.
Is this your first time playing?
I'm still in the hiatus.
She goes to Michigan and look what happens to her.
You need to be tortured by Akron for a little while.
Exactly. Just keep me on my toes, you know. There we go. I wanted to be unplugged. What are you talking about? So yeah, I took a little hiatus, and then I wrote this song during that hiatus, but I recorded it. It's on. So all of you also, if you're on social media, I know it's the worst possible thing that ever happened to humanity at the same time. But if you're on it, follow me because I want to follow you back and see where you're at and where you're reading and performing, and just stay in touch too. So, but this one is called "Stir the Pot."
I'm just taking up space. It's neither the time nor the place. I should leave my opinions at the door. Maybe I'm just tired now. Why don't I just lie down with the rest of you? 'Cause that's what you do. You cover your ears when it's hard to hear. Well, he sings just like a bird, puts a melody behind your fear and hurt. So you smile and nod along and say, I think I know this song, but do you really even understand the words? Maybe you're just tired now. Why don't you just sit down and see what we've done? All the webs we've spun. Uncover your eyes, break all those ties. And stir the pot until it's hot, till it's hot. You can stir that pot until it's hot, till it's hot. You can stir that pot until it's hot, till it's hot. You can stir that pot. I don't wanna sing no more, when I may as well be singing to the floor. They say stay in your lane, just be selfish, just be vain, for the sake of your brand name, for the sake of someday fame. No one cares to make a change, no one cares to share the blame, no one cares you got a brain, no one cares. So I'll paint my face and be quiet. Maybe then you will buy it.
Yeah, I was pissed off when I wrote that.
No. Your pissed off is so sweet.
Right?
It's very gentle.
Yeah.
So lovely.
Such a loving pissed off. That's what my partner would say too. That's so loving. All right, I'll read a couple more poems on my very professional clipboard. So speaking of this one, this one I was pissed off too. So that's fitting. I timed that just right.
There you go.
This one is called Crimson. Snug between the blinds, I peer past the harsh glow of my 9 to 5, 24/7, 7-Eleven, 120 resting pulse. Barely audible over the tap-tap-tapping of my tired fingers. A crimson cardinal perched in the low brush. Crimson, the color of blood, surging between my legs before the doctor suggests I freeze my eggs. Crimson, the color of life erupting and death forecoming. Crimson, the color of the Bible at the Motel 6, carefully placed next to the remote, carelessly flipping between soulless portraits of them and self who is not them, who could never be them. Crimson, the color of youthful confidence screaming, "Pick me!" in a bed of cut flowers, still unaware of the pruning shears. Crimson, the color of a cardinal curious about the strange woodpecker in a glass cage, tap, tap, tapping in search of meaning. This next one is called Unfettered. My dog doesn't like jazz. He paints his disapproval with exasperated sighs of oil black and egg white. I love these quiet nights, spent with brass ballads. In my mind, my feet are swinging through the cosmos as time goes by. I am a hopeless romantic, hopelessly falling back into my own arms. I always catch me. I light the right candles and choose the right songs. I prefer my company in the shadow of a dream where my dualistic dog takes off running towards the pines whenever he hears the sound of trumpets. Someday, I will shuffle around a hardwood floor that I sanded myself and remember all of the times I denied myself a dance because a man wouldn't join me. Someday I'm going to smoke every cigarette I once craved and light my own house on fire with the feelings I smothered for someone else's comfort.
Yeah.
Imagine Billy's voice leaking through wooded windows and the silhouette of my naked, elderly body, finally as unfettered and unusual as my naked spirit. So this next one I wrote when Roe v. Wade was overturned. Yeah, happy. It's a happy poem. This one's called Hush Hush. If fireworks can scream, why can't we? It was hush hush when my mom was 16 and noticed a peer disappeared for 9 months. Babies aren't quiet, but their mothers always had to be. I am not quiet when I am pleasured. I am not quiet when I dissent. How can we celebrate a country where someone's baby has to carry one, where missing indigenous women are never sought or found, where black mothers die threefold because white mothers are bleeding next door, where genitals are inspected before pronouns are respected, and marriage equality was a passing dream? If fireworks can scream, we can too. This one is about gun violence. There's a theme.
There's a theme.
Happiness. Right, happiness. Good.
She tried to write a happy poem.
Exactly. She really tried. This one is called What Now? We don't respect death. We are crows with shiny objects, tiny hands catch bullets instead of baseballs. And we cry, what now? But now is the same as before. Only guns have safety. The first time I pulled a trigger, I nearly shot a man hiding in the hill. I find no pleasure in power, unless it is shared. But sharing is only taught in classrooms, and it dies with our children. America is the land of promise, of empty beds and crowded safes, of talking heads and screaming babies, of grieving families and political maybes. Life is figurative until it is taken, until mothers weep in the streets of Texas and New York, but by then it is death, and we don't respect death. So what now? This one is, I guess, this one I wrote when I remember I was watching Kamala Harris speak, and it dawned on me I remember thinking when she was speaking, this was pre-Biden deciding he was going to run for a second term. Anyway, long story. We can get into that later. But I was watching this and I was thinking, and this was just such a fucked up thought. I was thinking, I don't know if I'm ever going to see a woman as president. And the reason was because we were sitting there. I was sitting there with my ex-partner at the time, and he made a comment, and I don't remember what it was. And it wasn't derogatory. It was something that he said that it was like, I realized that's how most people actually think. It's like, he said something like, well, she'd be great as vice president. And at the time, she was debating to be president. So, I wrote this about the glass ceiling, and I named it Steel Shingles. Sometimes I think it's either vice president or driving off a cliff. Chapped nipples and overqualified at the front desk, or pantsuit and laureate. Glass ceilings shatter and shake the steel shingles above them, but still the world screams, "See, she did it! She's amazing!" Yes, she is. They always have been, passed over for a white man. With his trust funds and his racism and his allegations, they've all sacrificed their dreams for the good of family, society, self-preservation. But you never see it. You toast a drink when they're behind the podium, and she swells with pride. Then she drowns in the pillow. I'm watching the time. I have a couple more I can read, and then maybe I'll play one more song on the way out.
Yeah.
These ones are short. This one's called Rest Now. Mouth running like mascara, hair tucked securely in the past, she reaches for me with dewdrop skin, though it's still not safe. Rest now. He shifts in his bed until his feet, now thick with summer heat, hang just out of reach like forgiveness. I plant his brittle spine into a nest of pillows like a baby bird, and he squawks. Rest now. Wiping the lunch from his face, I think of how we were all children, taking leaps of faith even after science shows us that clouds aren't beds of cotton. Rest now, but fly later. If, it is no longer when, but if I'll ever see you again. Nothing is guaranteed. So I cuddle the dog and stare at the pregnant neighbor as I wash the dishes. I wonder what it's like to bring new life into a dying world. She rakes the soil to prepare for spring and waits for the birth of a new chapter. On gray days, I think of the sun-laden afternoons in Yellow Creek before I jump ship and learn to love a new town and every man who would let me. The uncertainty was thrilling, but this time it's different. It's grief-soaked and lonely and infinite, and it screams, if, until I forget there ever was a when. All I know today is that I love you, if and when and always. My last one. It's called Notebooks. Do people change or do circumstances between second chances and first goodbyes? I don't say goodbye, I disappear. Too stubborn to hear about dying. To see you again alone is a reminder to run, as we've always done, to separate parts of the earth, screaming into notebooks while never acknowledging words exist. I didn't leave you. You were never there. All right. Thank you all so much for listening. And Keith, give it up for Keith again for hosting this amazing space. And the Veils, thank you guys. I'm going to end it, I think, with my Ode to America. It's a happy song. Everybody's got lead and steel. God forbid you behind the wheel. If your skin is brown as cedar grain, if the courts mispronounce your name, you can work in a grocery store. To pay for college you can go to war. We'll throw you parties when you get back home, and 5 years later say the war was wrong. And that's the way that it's always been done. They're singing one for all and all for one. Sound the sound of you saying I can't breathe. There's no justice in reprieve. One man acquitted and one to grieve. Were you born on infertile land, or once a village now a casino stands? They scoff at the whiskey on your breath, your minor infractions and petty theft. Remember when they put your parents there, gave them Bibles and cut their hair? You've seen the unmarked graves that wounded me. You're not in prison, but you still aren't free. And that's the way that it's always been done. They're singing one for all and all for one, to drown the sound of you singing the name of Shawnee. They'll put the pipeline where they please. The eagle is screeching in the east. I may have been born in a trailer park. I may have been poor, but I was never dark. So how can I sing for someone I never knew? I would hope that he'd sing for me too. What good's a voice if you don't use it? What good is progress if you refuse it? What makes you think that we're so different, that you can't relate 'cause you never lived it? That's the way that it's always been done. They're singing one for all and all for one, to drown the sound of you screaming I'm still here. My skin is black as yours is fair, and I never recited the Lord's Prayer. But I'm not going anywhere.
Pleuss, y'all. You can find Gretchen, well, through that disc right over there, on Spotify. You can hear music. You can go to GretchenPleuss.com. That is the correct answer. GretchenPleuss.com. You can check out poetry as well as the music and all those things. Follow her, connect with her. She's amazing. You all are amazing. Appreciate the night. Nate?
Is it spelled P-L-U-S?
That's a great question. Thank you so much. It is Gretchen Pleuss is Pleuss. Thank you. Dr. Seuss, fair enough. If you've not yet and are able to, throw a few bucks in the pot for Gretchen or buy a disc or something along those lines. Let's get up the Rialto Theatre. Seth Bale, Nate Bale. Love you guys so much. Let's give up for everybody who blessed the open mic. Fantastic job all night. For all of the amazing folks in the room bringing your energy and your support and cheering. Appreciate you here. Give it up for yourselves. Last, certainly not least, give it up for Gretchen Pleuss. Next month, first Wednesday of November, I think for a second where we're at, Courtney Morrow is going to be our featured poet. She's amazing as well. Come back. Thanks a lot.